Hello everyone, welcome to day 6 of Build Sell 30 Challenge. As I mentioned yesterday, today was a very exciting day because I was able to finally code something, which is something very dear to my heart. Don't get me wrong, I love designing, I love conceptual work, but coding is something I can focus on and forget about anything in the world. I won't lie to you, I was kinda hoping to make a little bit more progress than I did, but overall I think we did good here. If you don't know, I'm making the second product on this channel, which is postponed, as I mentioned in the previous video, which is called Lens. It's a social media app built for photographers. And by coding it, I actually have the skeleton for the API. I use the skeleton in each project I'm starting. It's something that can save me time and energy, and I don't have to focus on things that are the same in each project, like sign up, login, and user management, token refresh management. So everything is kind of already there. It also has few of strategies for Facebook and Google, so the users can log in and sign up using those credentials. But actually, I'm not be using that in this particular product because there's no login there. The only login that will be happening is basically from the clients, so the restaurant, or so particularly restaurants, but the owners will be logging into the app, and all users will be having the same app with the same screens, nothing fancy there. So I started today by cloning the repository for Lens and cleaning it up so that it doesn't have anything that is Lens related. So I stripped everything, I created a new separate repository out of it, and then I make it work. So after I finished that, I dug up the configuration for Firebase notifications. So I'll be using Firebase messaging as my messaging platform of choice, which will be handling everything. The device will register its tokens, and then the tokens will be sent to the Firebase and to our server. After that, the API will send everything depending on what it is to those devices. I used it a couple of times and it didn't fail me at all. I'm sticking with Firebase. So it took a while. I had a couple of issues with it. I mean, cleanup went fine. So after a couple of tries, I actually made it work with the Firebase notifications. So after setting everything up, I checked this endpoint I'm creating for each and every project I'm making. So the check endpoint, which allows me to basically check if everything is working, if the API is up and ready. Of course, this API is run in Docker containers, which consists of two containers, the Nest.js, Node.js container, and the database, MySQL database container, which are talking to each other and making this API happen. I didn't want to stop there, and I wanted front-end application to be also set up today. Maybe I got my hopes up too much, but this is what I thought. You'll see the result. It didn't quite go as well as I hoped. I mean, I could go two ways. I could start with developing the mobile app, so the native mobile application, which would be a lot easier. I also had experience with that and push notifications on those kind of applications. But since this product is new to a market, I'm not expecting everyone to install the app right away. I kind of expect the MVP to be mostly used on the website. So I started brand new Angular component to handle the progressive web app, which will be used in this case. This was very problematic, as I would say. I'm not exaggerating or anything. It was very problematic because Firebase with Angular works great, but Firebase with Angular, with progressive web apps, with push API, this combo is very problematic, and I will spend probably a lot more time on it since I wasn't able to make it work on Android, even Android. I didn't touch iOS at all. The problem is that the push API uses something called service workers, which are in the background. In order to make them work, you have to have an encrypted connection, which means HTTPS. I don't have the HTTPS locally, and I didn't want to set it up today. I trust it works. I think I will need to look more into it, like specifically tomorrow I will dedicate the whole day to make this push API work on Chrome. What I was able to do actually is to make it work on browser, but on the desktop. And for desktop alone, unfortunately. But hey, we have to start somewhere, right? Actually, beside that, I want to talk to you about some off-camera changes that happened during these 2 days, because I it already happened yesterday, but I didn't mention it because it was a design video and I didn't want to interrupt the flow of it. So actually on the website, the beeper.org, we had the first person to sign up, which is very exciting. I will be contacting this one person shortly. Make sure if you have any friends working in the restaurant business or friends that own a restaurant or bar or something similar, make sure to send them the website. Maybe they will find value in the product. This is one exciting news. The second great news is that I started figuring out the flow of the app. I don't mean in a user perspective, but rather the technical one. So how will front-end apps, web app and the mobile app will be communicating with the API. So the data that is sent between apps and the API. So it is actually quite nice. I have it in my second brain, which is the notebook you've seen a couple of times already. I like to scribble in it. It's very chaotic. This is like a crazy person's thoughts being displayed on a paper. This is all the work I done today. Since I was doing the mobile application and the mobile application is actually working, I wanted to give you a quick tip since we are here to display the local Angular or any kind of local website on your device and how to make it work on Mac. When you start some services like for example Node Server or Angular app, they are actually taking a one port on your computer and they are throwing your website on it. Your website is actually visible on the local host only. So localhost is the alias of IP address 127.0.0.1, but also, if you set this one thing on your server, I think most of frameworks have this ability to listen to 0000, which means listen to all the ports available, and then you'll be able to go to your Mac navigation bar, press Option and click on the Wi-Fi icon, and then here you have the IP address of your machine in your local network. If you connect your device to the same network and type the IP address on your browser with the proper port, you will see the app that you run on your local machine on your phone, which helps you with everything that you want to do when it comes to mobile app development, testing with developing and stuff. I have this arm here that I usually place my phone, and depending on what I do, I often do mobile development or I have to test compatibility for the smaller devices. It really helps, and that's a quick tip I wanted to give you today. And besides that, I have nothing more to say. I'm kind of bummed out that I wasn't able to implement the data flow I already figured out today, but nothing is lost. Today is also another day, and actually I want to have this evening for myself. I haven't had evening for myself since this challenge started, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's it. Nothing fancy here, just a regular ending. Thank you for today. As usual, subscribe if you want to help me, like this video, it really helps, and see you again tomorrow. Bye.